Here's some fast break tips, hacks, and moves to help you score more and get more assists. The first one is to not do what I just did right there all the time. There's times where maybe it makes sense to do that. But if you got like a teammate that's you feel like is gonna start to run the court with you and there's only one defender in front of you or around the area where they could guard the play, I wouldn't always just attack right towards the defender. Because first of all, you can't really see if your teammate is trailing you. You won't know where they are without turning your head, then you're kind of giving it away. Now you could use that to your advantage by kind of looking to them to get the defender to kind of shade off and use that to your advantage to come this way. But sometimes they'll use that opportunity when you look over here to come poking at the ball and you get ripped. So what you can do is pick an angle this way or this way, and the earlier the better. So like if I'm way back here, that's better because now I can start to get an angle to get past the defense, make the defense commit or not commit or sit in the middle, and now my fakes are gonna be more effective because they have to jump further. But the biggest thing about that is I can now see a little bit over here. I can see my hand over here. So if my teammate comes up to that point, I can maybe hit him with a quick behind the back, shovel pass, you name it, over the top, get creative with it, get him the ball. Or you can simply use that to use a quick pass fake and then get up for that layup. And an unorthodox setup would be to actually come to this side if your teammate's to this side. Now you're giving yourself an angle to get to the rim and your teammate's kind of behind you. And now your teammate can either trail here and you can use Euro steps and different things like that. It kind of gives the defender a different look that they're not really sure how to read because now they have to do more of these forward back motions like this to try to guard the pass or the layup, plus that angle there. But on top of that, a lot of times if you're on the same page with your teammate, they'll know if they're there to cut behind you. And now again, it makes it a lot more difficult for the defender to read. Here's another key. Don't make it overly obvious if you're gonna try to go for the layup that you're gonna go for that layup by just trying to beat your defender and all race to the rim. A simple thing you can add, and this will help you with staying out of that mindset of, oh, I'm gonna go for the layup no matter what, is to just slow down to about 3/4 speed. So you're coming full speed, you start approaching the defender. Don't be afraid to add a little hop, a little skip, a little bit of a change of pace, a slower step, maybe even a step where you kind of pause for a second on that step. Little tactics like that will throw up the timing on the defender, plus it puts your body in more control, right? It's hard when you're running full speed to throw a nice pass, to maybe make a change of direction with a crossover, a Euro step, all that kind of stuff. But on top of that, just that change of pace might get your defender to freeze, and then you could take one more quick step and get in for the layup with a little burst. Think about it like you got a defender out on you on the perimeter and you're gonna set them up with a slower pace, and then boom, use that quick first step. Same sort of a concept to get layups off as well. But on top of the change of pace for the defender and making it easier for you to change direction, it gives you more time. You can assess the situation better. Okay, defender's committing to me, I'm gonna dish off to my teammate. Defender's not committing to me, okay, I'm gonna take that layup. And that brings me to specific moves, finishes, and passes you wanna have. I'm just gonna throw a bunch at you real rapid fire. So first one is if you got your teammate trailing, know where they are, and you can hit them with a little boom, scoop like that. Just a little flick of the wrist, keep the arm almost straight down, just like when you're walking. Boom, just like that, just add a little flick of the wrist. You can do that to either side, of course, right? You can hit them there. Another thing you can use if your teammate's over here, you can use a little shovel pass, underhand like that. A bounce pass is great, harder for the defender to get their hands on it. You can come over the top like that. If the defense starts coming up real tight on you and it's sort of in front of you here, boom, hit them with the behind the back. As far as dribble moves, just a quick, sharp crossover. So the second this foot hits the ground, if I'm coming here, boom, push it across immediately. Doesn't have to be fancy or flashy. And then some sort of a double cross, doing like a boom, boom, like that. And of course, you can change up the crossover depending on your spacing. If you're real tight, then you might want to go between the legs for a little more protection. If you're real tight, maybe a behind the back. You can use that to go back into another behind the back or beat them that way. Or a spin move is great, right? You can come here, boom, dribble spin move, or a gather spin move, which would look like this. As far as finishes goes, you got of course your Euro step one way, step the other. You can throw in some fake passes like that, like we covered before. That little change of speed, just slowing down, blowing by. Of course, you can stop short of them and get that floater up. Or you can do like Curry does a lot, that little underhand scoop floater. Look at that touch. Another crafty thing you can do to throw your defender's timing off is they almost always expect you to go 1, 2. And then from there, when you're getting into the air, do a behind the neck pass, act like you're gonna shoot and pass. But you can also throw their timing off by just going 1 right into the layup. Or, a lot of people don't think about this, they think about one-step layups, but what about a one-step pass? Throw defender's timing off. The defender has decided that they're gonna meet you here. At that point, either A, if you're back here, then maybe take the short jumper, floater, whatever's comfortable. If you're a really good three-point shooter, especially when wide open, maybe take the 3. But if you're not, and you're gonna meet the defender here, you don't have a lot of help from a teammate, then generally you wanna do more of a 2-foot jump. You can still use 1, but 2 will give you more control, so you can take the contact. You can be a little more sideways, and you can manipulate the basketball. So if they're here, you can get it out wide where they can't reach for it and get that layup off, or you could even pump fake if they decide they're gonna try to jump behind you, and then you can come under and scoop like that. And also don't forget when you do this, you can use this to pivot, or you could jump and hop and use that almost like a Euro step, right? You could jump from that way, you could jump here, and now you have pivot foot options, and you can do step throughs, things like that, throw a couple pump fakes off. Ultimately, you're gonna need to get rid of all things that'll keep you from scoring around the rim to be a threat in these situations. Pinned to the top comment are the 3 things that you need to make sure you have covered. That video is free.